Hey guys, it's Alexander Williamson here with The Secret History, Living in Your Aquarium. Tonight, it's pretty simple. Just wanted to say hi to you guys. It's snowing outside, so feeling kind of cozy in here. Hope we don't lose the power. As you know, out here in Seattle, the snow is pretty wet and heavy and can break branches. So I'm always getting out all the battery air filters, battery air stones, and such as that when this sort of thing happens. Making sure I know where some cardboard and towels are to insulate the tanks if need be, since I have open top tanks mostly. And we're going to wait for a couple people to filter in, but that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to get ready and we are going to prepare dinner for this evening. How is everybody doing? You guys doing well? It's good to see you. Animal lover number one, first person to chime in. Thank you so much. So right now, let me flip this around. We're going to feed all my fish in this video. Just going to do the rounds and say hey. Yeah, oh yeah, Cindy, up in Edmonds. Yeah, you guys are getting hammered with all the weather that's been going on. Man, you guys have been getting it like 4 miles away and you get way more snow than us. We only have a few inches and the road has been scraped. So if anybody missed it, we have baby Corydora, baby Corydoras that have been born and somehow grew up for the last 3 months without me noticing. They come out from hiding back here. They are the panda Corydoras, Corydora panda. That is their Latin name. I think that's kind of funny, kind of simple. So, first of all, in the video, I think there's links to the hobby feeder, which I've talked about before, but this is a brine shrimp mixture here. This is all brine shrimp in here. So let me put this through a little sieve thing and we'll get some of them going on. Put the extra back in. And so we're going to have live baby brine shrimp. And I think, what else should we have? I know we're going to have vinegar eels for the small guys. And I think we're going to do bloodworms and some other stuff that'll get the fish real active, and hopefully you guys can check them out, see them. This is not MTV Cribs. Do not judge me for all my, weird food that's frozen in here. Let's see here. Yeah, Daphnias. We definitely need some Daphnia and some bloodworms. Bloodworms are the main thing. How are you guys doing? Oh, up in Linden, tons of wind and 13 degrees. I lived in Bellingham for years, so I know how that goes. I kind of miss it up there. I miss having seasons. It's one of the spots in Western Washington where you actually get those. All right, so we're going to pop out. Let's see here. We're going to need 1 cube for, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6, 7, 8 bloodworm cubes. I can't touch these things with my hands because I'm all sorts of allergic. So, well, you know what? Yeah, all right. So, I have to literally wash off my hands just from doing that, or I'll break out in a rash. Then we got the Daphnia. Daphnia has a lot of protein for the teeny tiny fish, the rasboras, the little danios, celestial pearl, danios, that sort of thing. So we're going to put 5 in there. What I'm going to do now is we're going to take just a dose of prime, because you'll see in just a minute. This is not how I usually do things, but I want to be quick since y'all are watching. So we're putting a little bit of prime in there. Never hurt anything to put that, just a few drops in. We're going to let the water get warm for a sec. Toss this. And if you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns, or donations, feel free to just chime in. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I guess I can show you this for a sec too. So this is a project that I've had going now for over well, actually no, 1 month short of a year. This plant has gone insane, and this is a hygrophila. And which one is it? I think it's the Ramosior, and it's just kind of gone crazy in this shrimp bowl. So this bowl, now that we got this water nice and hot, I'm just going to hold this under the water to kind of melt it so I don't have a freezing cold cocktail here. We put a little bit of water in it too. But in this bowl, we actually have shrimp, if you can see them. Let's see here. There's one on that rock underwater there. And there's actually, they've had babies in here, which surprises the heck out of me. I guess it goes to show you life will survive. And the kind of crazy thing about this experiment is that literally, so I'll make sure the water's not too hot. And this is how I've been doing water changes. Seriously. No dechlor. Just top it off every few days, like, 2%. And it's, I don't know, it's a little over a gallon of actual water in here. It's a 2.5 gallon vase or bowl or whatever you want to call it, art sculpture. And let's see if we can find some shrimp. There are a few blue neocaradinas in here, like the one that's sitting right there. And then there's lots of the Malawa shrimp in here. So it goes to show you not all caradina shrimp are super fragile. Some are really bulletproof. No filter in here, no heater. It's actually near the window, so it's like 65 degrees usually, the water in there. So kind of crazy that they survive. All right, so we're putting that back in. We got 2 likes and 30 people watching. What's going on? Guys, help me out. I guess I've done nothing to merit likeage. All right, everyone's sounding off and coming in. Wow, hello. Ian, hello. Fent, hello. Day's going good. Cindy, Melanie, baby corridors are always a good time. Yes, they are. Frank White, hello. Luis Sanchez, hello. Fish Dreams, Adam Nickel, Melanie. My fish love bloodworms, but they don't love me. You're allergic to? Yeah, actually about 70% of the population at large is allergic to bloodworms in some fashion. So if you've never handled them, even frozen ones, be careful. So I like to use the down and dirty turkey baster method to feed my tanks. It is a risk for cross-contamination, but seeing as my entire fish room just has been cleared out for precautions, not post-cautions, of, that crash I had from the Vibrio bacteria. I got new turkey basters. They're 99 cents at Goodwill near my house. And new bulbs too, for some of the older glass ones that I've used. And so just making sure all this stuff's broken up, and then we'll actually go get vinegar eels downstairs for these smaller tanks that I'm breeding in. And I'll show you how I do that. All right, let's see here. Feeding can be expensive, but it's always fun to watch. Yeah, and so that's another thing. People ask, well, if I donate $1 or I become a Patreon donor or give you $5 or whatever on Super Chat, like, what's that going to help or whatever? Well, these things are $7.99, $8.99 a pack, and, I feed my fish, not every day this mix, but I feed them at least every other day or every third day. Someone's getting a nice mix like this. So it adds up, plus the cucumber, zucchini, all that stuff for the plicos. But I put the money to use for that and for lights and cameras and action. So let's see here. Any tips on keeping stem plants in the substrate long enough to root. Mine keep floating off. Yeah, one is you just float them up top and wait for them to root like this, like over here. And then now that this Monte Carlo has little white roots floating, I can put it back in. Same with this here. This Rotala just has roots now. I can put it back in. Now they might shoot out the side or somewhere inconvenient, but you can always bury stem plants sideways. And sometimes you'll get like 10 different little growth areas popping up. So that's one way. But the other way that I would recommend, and I don't know where you buy them normally, but Aquatic Arts has them online. I don't know, maybe, I think aquatics.com has them too, and I've got links to discounts for both those sites in particular, but maybe your local fish store would have them. These are lead weights. Now this is elemental lead, and so it is not going, and it's bound with, I think, something else. But whatever the case, I had somebody smarter than me who is a blacksmith friend explain that that does not leach into your water. It's like a heavy metal, and it's hydrophobic. So it like, apparently it just can't or won't mix into the water. All right, look at this mix. Looking delicious. We'll get algae wafers going after this feeding. I'm going to try to feed everyone upstairs here, and we'll try to get some Daphne and stuff. I like these turkey basters because I can get, you know, if I just want a squirt of Daphnia, I can get that down to these little endlers over here, ember tetras over here, no problem. You know, and if I want the big pigs to get everything, I can still feed them up top with the bloodworms, but a lot of those bloodworms are going to settle. Now, a side note is you don't want to be feeding your fish bloodworms every day, most fish, because it's too rich, too much protein. It's going to block their gut, and they're going to have poopy problems. So just a little side note for those of you who are getting gung-ho about that. And even bettas, people like to feed them the dried bloodworms all the time, and it's not the best. It's not the best all the time. All right, so we're gonna hang out just for a sec here, and then we'll go to the next thing. Aquatic Haven, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. That probably takes care of half this dinner for these fish. My fish, thank you too. You know, they've been schooling, and soon they're going to university or college, so you know, they could use the funds. I appreciate it. Rico DiGaio, hello. How are you doing, brother? Adam, I was terrified the first time I saw those lead strips in a plant tank. Yeah, I know. I was kind of like, what the heck? Are these like fishing weights? That's another tip. You can use those little soft lead fishing weights, but I don't know in the long run what the effects are. We're not eating our fish. At least I hope we're not. I hope you're not. But that also could, I guess, arise as an issue. Boy, this angelfish has gotten really pretty, huh? Fish Dreams, thank you so much for the super chat. We're on a roll tonight with the super chats. I really appreciate that. All right, good morning from Germany. Guten Morgen. UG Aquatics, I don't think they're actually lead. No, they are lead, actually. I mean, they're lead in something. I don't know if it's nickel or what. Probably not nickel, but maybe aluminum? I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to look that up. Good morning, Bali. Chase, how's it going, brother? I need to go out to Chase's house. So, guys, Chase has betta macrostomas, the holy grail of bettas, the ones that get like yay big if you feed them right and they live a long time. And they are just too cool for school, those fish are. They're usually a few $100 each, and I happen to know that Chase is selling pairs of them for $100, for $100. So Chase Canton, hit him up if you want to get a hold of those. Very rare. He has mastered the art of breeding them, which can be very tricky depending on where you live and what your water's like. And also the fact that they can kill each other. You know, fish do that sometimes. So this tank's feeding. It looks like nobody's gonna make a real big surprise. I thought maybe the Synodontis catfish might pop out and say "Rah!" Like this guy's going to. He's saying hello. His mate is up here. Boy, that tail's getting long on her. Just crazy how long it is. These are the Turkish green angels, by the way, these ones here. And then the other ones are the sclera angels with the veil tail. But they sure have the longest veils and fins I've seen in a long time. There's the little Corridor stinker baby right there. See him, guys? He's white compared to, or pinkish compared to the other Corridors. Don't know when he was born. It's just very odd that these babies are appearing in this newish tank. I mean, it's not an old aquascape. See, we're allowing the Cories to get some food. This Cory was also born in this tank. Notice the size difference. So it's odd that we've had, I mean, they lay eggs constantly, Cories do. By the way, look at the color of these Venezuela's Cories. They're kind of a tan and gray, dark gray, versus this wild caught one that's like a true orange, and they get a big tall fin as they mature and everything. So kind of cool. We've got the new cave in here. We've also got the old cave hidden back in there. So we'll probably have baby plecos coming again soon. This guy can't stop having babies. He is just on a roll. Yes, I have sand. I have gravel and sand mix, and then sand. Chase says you can find me on Facebook, Chase Canton. Shoot me a message. He has around 100 babies at the moment, or juveniles. He says he has 20 to 30 pairs ready to go, and then he has 5 juveniles for 200. That's a crazy deal. If you've been looking for those fish, hit him up. Please hit him up. I have been there. You can check out the tour of his fish room from probably a year ago now when we first went there. We've been there twice, and we're going to go back a third time. He's got puffers, and he's got some small space that he works with that's really cool. My wife's hiding. I told her she wasn't going to be in the video, but when she pulls a blanket over her face, she gets in the video. All right, guys, so on to the next tank and then on to downstairs. So mixing it up. This is the yummiest mix in all of the world. All right. Yeah, get it, Sergio. Get it. All right, so I moved half the cribs, or not half, a third of the cribs. I moved them. Why? I don't know. I just did. I want to watch them. I also want to get some golden rams or something like that. Man, look at Sergio go. He can eat endlers like that. Look at the suction power when he tries to get a bloodworm off of something. He can suck it literally like from behind another leaf. There's all these ones on this leaf here. Watch. Sergio. Get him. Get him, boy. He'll eat until his belly is just exploding. Gotta love Sergio, right, everybody? Everybody loves a Sergio. And then we've got the cribs here. There's a pair of them. And then oh no, a net fell in, but I'm allergic to the bloodworms, so there's nothing I can do about it. Except watch it sink. Sorry, guys. I'll have to get that later once you eat all the bloodworms and it's kind of gone. Now, we also have of course they're hiding now, but we have the 138 tiger plecos hiding in here. The leopard frog pleco. There's the adult, and then we have 2 juveniles / young adult. Let's see here. Chase is selling pairs of the macrostoma bettas, of the holy grail of bettas, the very, very sought after. At my local store, they were $200 each. So $100 for 2 sexed individuals, crazy. I want to make sure some of these bloodworms are getting down to my homeboys down here, my leopard plecos. There's 3 of them in here. This guy, I'm looking at his head. He rammed the glass really hard. He has been like chasing other male, and I don't know if he has an eyesight problem or if he's hit his head too many times. Look, he's got bloodworms and Daphnia and live brine shrimp, and he's freaking eating algae. Yeah, there's something wrong with him. Chase is in Washington, right near me. All right, let's see here. Plant tweezers, grab the net. Yeah, I'll come back and get them. Don't worry. Oh, we got a fight coming. Honey, my wife just demonetized the video by playing Who Let the Dogs Out. So, thanks, wife. She sits and Googles pictures of dogs on Instagram. Or I guess that's not Googling. I sound like an old man. Look at how fat this albino tiger tiger barb is. Look at him. He's just, I have eaten all of the bloodworms. Whereas these guys are just like eating the Daphnia, like yum, 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 little Pac-Man. Same with this one. Look at him go. He's wasting so much energy when he could just eat bloodworms like these guys. So these are probably one of the few Endlers / Guppy strains I'm going to keep. These are the wild ones. These are wild class here. I guess K class. And yeah, we are fish lover. All right. Griffin Fish Room. Hello, everybody. Hello. And then who did I miss? Somebody else super chatted me, and I really wanted to thank you. Oh, Rico DeGaio, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Rico. I really appreciate that, brother. I do. This month has been tight on funding. All right, so I've also got some male endlers that were impacted from downstairs that had already been up here before the impact, because I really never want to lose this this leopard, rainbow tiger, leopard tiger, whatever you want to call it, endler strain. I really don't want to lose it. This tank needs some rescaping. I mean, it's doing okay. It's got caves and things for the leopard frog plecos, but I'd like to be able to really play with the settings more, because the leopard frog plecos are getting bigger. Oh, here, you can actually see some of them. And they're getting more bold. They're actually coming out, and the cribs are kind of fighting with them, which is weird. But the plecos will fight back. They'll smack them with their tail. They flex their tail, and they're just like, whack. Like, they really can bash them with that. So that's interesting. But looks like it's snowing, just like it is here. Yeah, I got to figure out what's up with his head. I don't want any disease or secondary infection from him bashing his face on things. He's not as graceful as the other male, and that's why the other male has the other female. And they had babies in here not long ago, actually very, very recently. And the cribs amongst themselves, this other male back here, he decided that he was going to eat all the babies, even though they had a primo choice awesome hiding spot, which was right here. And yeah, he just was a tyrant. Sorry, honey, I'm coming through. All right, so we're going to go downstairs, stop bugging my wife, because there's a show on that we like to watch, and I'm yapping away. Let me get some more bloodworms. Hold on. I'll set you guys up, and then I'll try to catch up with the chat. The chat. All right. My hands are already actually itchy from the bloodworms. Oh, you guys probably can't see the color very well live. Yo, YouTube, work on your color live stream stuff. By the way, in this dark dungeon that is this bowl, actually it's really light, it gets morning light, the blue shrimp have stayed super dark blue, but they've really limited how many babies they have. They have like 5 babies at a time, which is interesting to me. I don't know how they do that. If there's a hormone, or if they just eat them, or if they just let go of the eggs. I mean, that would make sense, right? All right, guys, let's go downstairs. Leave my wife alone while she watches Mixed Dish, which is a show I enjoy as well. One of those guilty pleasures. I don't know. Maybe it's not a guilty pleasure. It's just a banal pleasure. If I lose you guys here, I am so sorry. I apologize. Yeah. All right. So let's feed who we're going to feed. And I'll show you what's going on here. So right here, we're going to need some vinegar eels because we're breeding tin winnies in this little fry box. Also, the shrimp down here, the blue dream shrimp, they're just chilling, but they are the scarlet batis. They're out. They're so last year. And who's in now are the Somfongzi rasboras, if I can get them to come out. There's some baby shrimp in here too. Come on, Somfongzi rasboras, where are you? Oh, there's one. So these little guys, these Somfongzi rasboras, they have this beautiful glistening gleam. So they'll be eating, they don't even eat Daphnia. Like, I mean, they will, but they're going to be eating the vinegar eels, and then whatever I feed shrimp in general, like, that's what they eat. Now, these guys, they'll eat the Daphnia, so we can give them a little bit of Daphnia. They're not super good at cleaning up their plate, per se, so I'm just going to give them a few bloodworms, and they're stressed, you know. So, and then up here, we've got, I haven't even taken the labels off the tank, but we've got bloodworms and half beaks. Now I wanted to see how this goes. Whoa, look at that. That is a deep throat of a bloodworm. Sorry if that's inappropriate for all ages. Now I'm going to have NAFTA, or whoever the hell it is, Copa. The Copacabana will be after me after I said that. All right, so we got Cribs in here. She's scared, but you can see she's eating. And I know he is in this hollow piece of wood, but it's good to see that they're going to eat those worms, because sometimes I have to drag more like live-ish food. These half-beaks have just been really, they're not picky at all. They seem to eat anything that fits in their mouth, and with the bloodworms, those don't even seem to fit in their mouth. All right, let me catch up on chat, you guys. Yeah, L134s are great. I got mine at Aquatic Arts. I think they're $54 for young ones there, which is a pretty good price. Let's see here. Oh, vinegar eels. Yeah, I love them. They're my favorite thing. They're my favorite live culture to have, actually, in fact. They're super easy to maintain. I'll show you a little bit about that in a minute. But we're going to feed these guys. I'm not putting the tweet or the I can't speak. Don't speak. You know just what you're thinking. Bloodworms are sinking. So these are my endlers. Everybody's healed in this tank now. There's a few ladies that are going to have lots of babies any day now. And then there's also some Corydoras that survived the bacteria that went into different tanks. Now they're in this tank. So everybody who was exposed that was sick at one point got put into this tank. And so they're all these endlers and then some Corydoras. It's always the little ones that go after the crazy bloodworms. Like, what are you thinking, dude? Even if you ate that, it's going to be coming out of you by the time you get there. So there's some Trilineatus Corydoras, Stirby Corydoras, and a few other oddballs in there. I think there's a few Pleco Juvies in there. You can see the half-beaks have been really, really active. I love these guys. They're so funky. I didn't realize it at first, but they actually eat that. Their bottom jaw is the long jaw. So, and like, here's a male that's all flagged up. He's colorful with the red and the orange. Um, but they open their, and these two might wrestle. We might catch it on film. That'd be cool. But they twist around each other like snakes almost and wrestle. But what I need to do is paint the sides of this because they are really, oh, she's coming out more. They're really going at it and hurting themselves with their long nose because they can accelerate quickly. Now this is just a 10-gallon tank, not ideal. I needed a dither for the cribs. I've bred cribs, just a pair, in a tank like this, and I take the babies after a month or so. Done that many times, the pistos, cribs, whatever. Also, I think we might switch this up, put these shrimp in there, and then breed an apisto or a ram, something like that in there. All right, over here, we have all the I had to collect them from several tanks now. But we have, these are my blue dreams that have been tending to go towards Riley or Riley coloration. I've been putting them together. Also, my baddest colony, the male from, there were 6 up here, and the male that was up here that was dominant has remained dominant above everyone. This is subdominant male above him right there. And then there are just a boatload of juveniles in here. I think I counted about 40 in this little 5-gallon. So watch what happens when I bug their little hiding spot. They'll all come racing out. But yeah, so here's another male starting to show off. That's new. You can see the stripes coming in, the red on the forehead, a lot of time, and the blue on the fin. That it takes time because once they color up, they've signaled that I'm a threat and I'm ready to take on the big boy, or at least declare that I'm here. Whereas you saw all those babies, they went to the big dominant male for protection, and he's all puffed up and ready to kick some A. All right, let's see here. Aquatic Haven. I have a long veiled tail angel like the one you have upstairs. After moving him due to horrible aggression, his stripes are fading. Any idea why? Well, when they get older, usually they get more stripes, but he could lose stripes too. It depends. But my guess would be stress first off, and then perhaps something like that it's just part of the aging process. But keep an eye on that for sure. In here, we've got my koi Endler guys. They don't actually need much food because they've been eating a lot of the, what have I been feeding them? This stuff. The tetracolor flake, that stuff is great. I really like it. I know a lot of people like the granules, but I like the flake. I just dig it. All right, so in here, these are the ones that I'm selling, and these are the ones that, in my opinion, are the best. Well, that's way too many. All right, we're going to go over here. This is the main colony. We've got Pandagara in here. So the Galaxy Catfish is still in here. My Malawa shrimp are going insane in here, as they have been for a long while. Look at all those shrimp. So recently I just posted that I'm selling some. So I'm selling, I think I've got about 60 for sale now. I'm giving discounts of 20, but you got to be in the area. I'm not shipping them or dealing with that right now. Got some shrimp fighting over a piece of food. Look at that. Their whole tank is filled with food, and these two are going to fight. These two males. Yes, I don't see saddles or anything. Males. The other problem, this tank, lots of planaria. Has started to blossom, come to life. But it doesn't seem to bug anyone. These shrimp are like bulletproof. I mean, look at them all. They're just, watch this as I kind of herd them sideways. There's just so many of those stinking shrimp. And then we've also got, so up here we've got the female that's pregnant. Look how colorful she is. So that's the koi guppy / Endler. It's really, I think it's a guppy. And then there's the dark bodied kind as well. So I think that's a male. So the darker body is usually male. although there are white-bodied males in this strain. Kind of funky. Now, these guys are literally for sale. They've gotten pregnant in the last 24 hours. I rounded up 20 of them just to sell. And, you know, we can give them a little bit of food if we want, like a little bit of this. Daphnia, they'll all share. Because, you know, shrimp are so kind. It's a joke. If you have any shrimp, you know, they're jerks. We're going to get some of the bloodworms out of here, back into here. All right. Get some of them bloodworms out of there. All right. Lights off in here. I need to turn it on without losing you guys. How am I going to do that? All right. Hold on. Let me try to do this. I hope I don't lose you. Actually, you know what? We'll feed all of that last. We'll feed this tank last because of that issue. Because my timer turned off. Well, I guess we got some light, but the reflection's bad. Let's see if we'll hold off on feeding these guys. What happens if we'll turn that off? How's that? Can we see? That's still pretty bad, isn't it? Oh, it's because the bottom tank's on. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, this tank's getting drained, but there are still a few little endlers and probably some sort of, I don't know, in there. Just because that tank was the one without anything, no heater nor anything. Well, now it has a heater. But no heat or anything for so long. In here, all the blue dreams, and oh good, they're eating the worms. And they're eating the Daphnia with pleasure. So I'm hoping they'll breed. I'm also hoping that the Tinwinnie will lay eggs down here. I'll leave them in here for about a week and keep this pretty dim all day, actually, since the shrimp don't care. And same with these guys. And then in a week or two, after feeding them live food, because you know there's baby brine shrimp in here too, then we will pull the adults out and we will put them elsewhere. So that's how that goes. Let's see, is this any better now? Is this any better now? No, it's still awful. Okay, let's figure this out. Hold on one second. Indian almond leaf for shrimp feeding? Why? Indian almond leaf grows bacteria, and it also puts out tannins, which have an acidity that really helps kill bacteria. It does kill beneficial bacteria a little bit too, just side note, but not terribly bad. Now here are the Malawa or the gold nebula shrimp. Very similar to the Malawa, but they have these ridges on them and little white dots and swirls of designs and things like that. They pretty much just chill, like, unafraid of anything on this rock for some reason. Don't know why, because some of the fish are starting to eat them. Like the male and the female. Isn't this a pretty female? Bettas, they definitely are eating them. So I wish they'd hide a little better, but they reproduce pretty quick. Hit that like button, guys. I agree. You can hit that. Another super chat. Thank you so very much. Thank you. All right. Also, Grooveside Aquariums. You know, the first warehouse party I ever went to. Oh, and aloha all. We've got a Hawaiian greetings from Annalie. Hello, Annalie. How are you? Good morning from Finland. But yes, Grooveside, a place called Grooveside Connection, was my first warehouse party at age 15 or something in Seattle. 10,000 kids in there, some weird adults, but it was quite the event. So let's sort out the seed shrimp, or sorry, vein agar eels. Let me show you how I'll do this. We will go into the other room and then I will show you. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Hope I don't lose my connection with the weather. You guys looking at my bad teeth, huh? All right. So let's set this up so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hopefully. I don't know. Let's see if we can. All right. You guys are just looking at me. Maybe you guys can get a better view from up here. I think so. On the towel rack. All right. Yeah, that'll work if I can get this to stay. All right. Yeah, that will work. All right. So in here, vinegar eels. I doubt we'll be able to see any of them, but they come to the top for air. And I prepare these bottles. There's apple that's now dissolved. I should probably make a new bottle. But I cut up apples with the peel, and then I poke holes in the top. I put a little filter floss in the top so that there is no bacteria entering through the cap, but that there's still air exchange, because vinegar eels like air. So this right here, filter media sock, works just fine. Going to pour in here. They are very teeny though. They're very, very teeny. Like, you probably can't see them on film yet. Like, we can probably get them on film when we'll probably get them on film when they're swimming. All right. So now get a little bit of water. All right. So now we've got some water. Now the vinegar eel substance is in here. This is still got vinegar eels in it, but most of them are in this sock thing. So that I'm not feeding just straight vinegar to my fish, we're going to take this and we're going to kind of soak it in the water. Now, there is a way easier way to do this, but I wanted to show you guys kind of the guerrilla tactic way of doing this. You could use cheesecloth, you could use a coffee filter, you could use a number of things, and you can filter it multiple times. Now, I can see in here that didn't take care, it didn't get a whole lot of them, but there are enough in here. They clump together kind of, and there are enough in there that they're swimming around all over. So we'll put a drop of the and then we'll just wash this out just so it's not sitting with vinegar. This would normally just be filled with media for the tanks, so not too worried about it. There's probably some dead vinegar eels in there, but they breed quickly. These bottles, literally, I leave them. Now I'm going to pour this back in here. So that was the excess fluid with the vinegar eels. Now, see, there's still some stuck to the sides. Now, I learned this a while back. You can actually add with chlorine, as long as it's not more than 10%, or maybe it's 20%. I don't know. If you want to be safe, take care of the chlorine. But these things are tough enough that in this vinegar solution, you can just add back water or fish water. You can even add back chlorinated water. I have weekly chlorinated water, though, just so you know. Then we put the top back on it. The real way that we do this normally is I have a fine sieve, like a little cup, and you just pour it off over something, and it catches all of them. Same with the baby brine. But the vinegar eels are even teenier, and so, yes. And we can put these bottles back. This bottle, I can make 10 more bottles out of. It's over a year old, this one, actually. Usually I write the date on them. Oh, I did. January 2019. So, yeah, it's a year old, that bottle. All right, let's go back and feed some of this delicious vinegar eel to the baddest. This is actually probably going to be my favorite feeding session. Okay. What's going on, Alex? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, let's flip this around. Flip it good. Doo, 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 doo. It does that twice now. Like, maybe it's for the iPhone, the new iPhone with like 30 cameras or whatever. All right, so we can take this mixture now. Got the dechlor that I put a little bit put a little bit of it in. Especially if you're feeding a small amount, chlorine won't be a huge issue if you've got 20 gallons or something. Now, when you're in a 5-gallon, you should worry about chlorine a lot more. So this is a tannin bottle. Tannin bottle, oh, tannin bottle. How something, something. This is just boiled down leaves, basically. Or steeped leaves, I should say. So I do that for breeding. So when I'm ready for the trigonostigma, the Somfonzi rasboras, to breed, I will then have them do that. Sorry, the view is going to go upside down. I'm pouring something. Whoop. And voila. Okay. So, hopefully this is the fun part. Hopefully you guys can see these vinegar eels when they go in. Let's see here. I'm going to aim for one of these bacterial clumps of them. Like they'll get a piece of detritus and they'll hang on to it. All right. Where's Mr. Man? Well, he'll come if he sees the others feeding, but these guys look just like little sperms. I'm actually going to grab that clump. That clump's a little rich for them. We can put that down in the guppies. Also, I'm going to feed some of this to these guys. Anybody breeding, doesn't hurt to diversify the diet. These guys are in low pH anyways. So let's see here. Let's watch the baddest unleashed. Let's see here. Can we get some of these vinegar eels on film at all? They might be too small. We're zoomed in. You guys can see the clouds of them. So we're going to scare everyone towards the vinegar eels. And hopefully they'll decide that it's food time. Alright. Now, when these guys aren't scared of me, especially if the male starts going at it, they will feed like voracious sharks. Voracious, whatever. There's algae on a rock and the shrimp are all over it. They leave almond leaf alone. Usually as almond leaf breaks down, they dig it. The aquarium guys, hello from the Aquarium Guys podcast. Keep it up. All right, I'll have to check you out. I feel like I might have checked out the Aquarium Guys podcast a while back and kind of forgotten about it. There are so many great people all over the internets these days. Oh, is he going to notice them? Is he getting hungry? They're kind of stressed because they were in a tank full of mulm that was dark and dank, and that's what badists like. That's how I get them to breed. High acidity, leaves, lots of mulm. See, this gal's eating. That's his right-hand woman. She is full of eggs. You can see the yellow. You see that? And don't let that red fool you, because she's full of eggs, little yellow eggs. But she's going around and eating, which is good because she needs the protein. So we'll watch her for a minute. Fish Tropic, what up, buddy? How large of Neo shrimp colony can safely be housed in a 10-gallon tank? I've had over 200. I would say 100 is a better size. Now, the interesting thing about these Neocardinas in here, there are, I counted as I put them in here, even in a tank with this little of hiding spots, I mean, there's some, but there are about 60 shrimp in here, and it really doesn't look like it. It looks like there's hardly any. But when I move like a log or, you know, a leaf or a moss ball, like 10 will bolt out. Now, down here, we've got over 100 in this tank. Down here. And they breed very consistently in this tank. I've been afraid this tank will crash forever. And I hate to tell you guys, but the When I turn the heat up, sorry guys, the panda loaches passed away. So all but 3 of them passed away on me, which was real sad. The fish now know that the stuff's in there. Can we zoom in more? Let's see. Oh, we can. Just might be shaky. But you should be able to see some of the vinegar eels swim by, something dark behind it. Let's try to look for them. They look just like little sperms. Little snaky tail things with a round head. There's one. Guys see it? There it is. It's not in focus at all. It's actually right against the glass rather than back where I was aiming. He's got Daphne on his or her back. Is she gonna go for it? Now they can sense minute pressure waves with their, yep, she got it. With their, there's another one right there. She left it alone. That's interesting. There's another one right by her. She's leaving that one alone right there. I don't know why they make the choices they make though sometimes. It's very odd. The babies are very shy. I think they're very scared of the males that are now... Oh, now we can see the vinegar eels. Now these babies are about 2 millimeters long. And good, they're eating the vinegar eels. So you can't really tell with your eye sometimes, like, because they're clear. So only under the bright light can I see the vinegar eels and make sure they're eating. So they're eating, they're doing well. I give them the live vinegar eels every like 3 days. And then I give them powdered fry food from Aquarium Co-op. This is going to be the Challenger male in the next few days. Mark my words, his fins are growing long. He's got blue coming out, or not this one actually. I'm not even pointed at the one I'm looking at. This one is going to be probably a sneaker in that there are eggs. Also, you can see the yellow. When you turn a very white LED on, not warm or cool, but just nice and white, you can see through the fish and you can start to see and tell that way. Now there are ways to tell via fins and other things, but they are a type of fish that can switch up their cells and develop. The males can develop into females and vice versa. Only the males... Wait, let me think about this. One of them actually can fully change, they've found now. So I think it's that the males can fully turn into a female. And then the female, by looks, can turn into a male and store other males' genetic material and spread it and hold on to it for over a year. They're not sure if it's actual true flipping gender, hermaphroditic fish to begin with, because they appear to be born either male or female. But there could be something weird going on with the chromosomes. We just don't know for sure yet, because nobody's studying them enough. All right. Glad you love the... let's see here. Crystals, pets, and plants. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, guys, come on. What's up with the likes? Animal lover, being my mod. I appreciate you so very much. Gotta support the Real Fish channel for show. How many clown killies would be okay in a 5-gallon? Well, I'd start with like 3 with a male for sure, and maybe 2 females. And then I would move all the way up to like 10 if you want. But they're gonna need some room. They're gonna need to establish little areas, just because they're killifish. But they can't really do much damage to each other. So, I mean, I've had a lot in a 5-gallon before and successfully been breeding them. Wow, look at this female up here, guys. She's gonna have, I will bet you, 90 babies. Oh, and my blue tetra is in there too. Just an oddball blue tetra. Yeah. So, I thought this would be more savage. I thought all the babies would come out and it would be like Braveheart, and they'd be like, freedom! And everybody would be feeding, but that's not the case. So, sorry to waste your time. But I do know where we will get a reaction, and we can just watch it from up top first, because these fish are crazy. So these fish usually strike really hard if they're hungry. I did feed them this morning, but usually the top of the water will ripple if they're hungry. These are Kythit Danios. There's a couple bettas in there, a male and a female. There are some endlers in there, and then there are 5 species of micro danio, or Divario danio, whatever you want to call them, including Pantheri, Chinensis, what's the other one? Starts with an M. And I'm spacing. Yeah, no one's really hungry, apparently. I guess no one but this one endler is hungry. And some baby endlers. But there's enough catfish in here and plecos that I can feed this tank quite a bit, and they'll still be chilling. So let's give them some bloodworms and their nutrients, their due. Sorry, guys. I know that's dizzying. Watch, they're probably going to swarm over that, but... Oh, and then also my Honduran red point is in there too. So I did have a few babies of those. And then, you know, the funny thing about convict cichlids is a few babies tend to eat the other few babies. And then there's one baby. And now I have one juvenile. So I really don't like these planaria. I was seriously going to like unleash hell on them, bomb them all out. Hey, look at one of my catfish is out eating planaria. Now, that's the last woodcat that is alive. That's the Galaxy woodcat. His mouth is huge. He's the one who survived the onslaught. He's doing well. Looking good. It looks like he's going to warp speed. They're supposed to have little polka dots, but they don't. They have, like, lines on these ones, which is kind of odd. But look, oh, you missed it. The Pandagara, as well as the baby endlers, are eating these. See, you can see right there, that is planaria that they're eating. They're pulling off the glass and eating. So, I mean, in the one sense, they're a pest. They kill shrimp, but I don't think I'm in any trouble with the amount of shrimp I have in here. And for whatever reason, I know I'm overfeeding in this tank, but the fish themselves really, really seem to enjoy eating the planaria. Some fish are spoiled. They don't like planaria. They won't eat them. You'd have to starve them to get them to do that. But these fish, they're well behaved. Look at this pretty little boy. Come here. Got such a nice orange fin up top. Now, the other thing is I have bladderwort. Ruins my life. We're going to catch some planaria with this same turkey baster. Don't. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll wait till they're like all eating something, like right here. And then I'll just get all of the planaria like that. Now, if I had catfish, plecos, something like that, actually the leopard frog, they go wild for planaria if you feed them to them like that. Here's a bucket I need to put outside. I'll show you the problem with me putting it outside right now. Need to wash my hands again really quick. I got water on my hands. You guys like my makeup? Also, by the way, does anybody else just driven nuts that their API test always looks like neon green, even though it's, guess what? 2 of those are tap. Oh no, I got a bloodworm on me. That will turn into a welt. Oh, it already is. It's already turning into a white, like poison ivy rash type welt. Hopefully I can get it off. Sorry guys. Look at what I do for you guys, or for my fish. That's how much I care. Also, I'm working on I was going to say, this just, to me, I see this and I'm like, green somewhere in here. And it's none, it's tap water. So, g'day, Mr. B and fish things. Oh, there's the sparkly male. How you doing, sparkly male? Oh, we've got more males trying to come out too. Look at this. Even some of the little guys are showing their stripes. Be interesting. It'll be interesting who comes out. I mean, these babies, I usually don't let them grow up with their parents because their parents tend to like to eat them. What I do is literally I check the tank like a month after they were in there. Now, I'm hoping that the male is still in this piece of wood. Let's shake it and find out. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's fine. The female comes out, but that male is just, he's a scaredy cat. And in the other tank, he was Mr. B.A., Baracus Bad Attitude, as they said his name supposedly. Look at this. So, look at their mouths. Look how they open. Weirdest thing ever, isn't it? It's because he ate too many. That's actually a female. It's because she ate too many bloodworms. And now she's like, why did I eat all those? And she's probably going to puke up one. Or a piece of one. Here's another pretty. These are golden wrestling half-beaks. Here's another one. There's also celebi or celeb half-beaks. Here's a male. With that pretty red on the tail. Look how full of bloodworms he is. Glutton. These shrimp will also eat the bloodworms. But then the new thing is I've been going around taking the excess food in most of my tanks and getting with this. It just makes me feel better not having so much junk floating around the tanks. But, oh, again, he hasn't let go. He'll never let go, Jack, until a big fish decides I'm stealing that. Now, this is my, what the heck am I going to do tank. Look at that crypt back there that melted. One crypt survived. Well, two crypts survived, I guess. And then the Val all seemingly died, but it looks like it's making a comeback. You cannot kill the corkscrew Val. Oh, we got two little guys that just won't give up their giant blood worm. Here's another one. 3. They're stubborn. You don't need any more things in you, ma'am. Look at you are comical. Stop. Just stop, okay? So yeah, all these critters lived through that bacterial apocalypse. And I just don't know what to do with them, so they're just sitting here. Clearly I've cleaned out all the water. I've bombed it with every medication needed, but I still would be scared to put any new fish in there. This is my oldest ramshorn snail, if you were curious. And then up here we got another glass bottom tank I'm thinking about turning into Escape. Also, there are baby baddis in here, and I happened to find them when I was getting their parents, and their parents, I literally watched their parents eat them. So I think most are hiding in here in the Sawassertong and Pelia and stuff, but the Endlers will eat them too, so I don't know if I will ever see them grow up. And that's what happens with the little nano fish when you colony breed them or breed them with other species often. But if you give them enough hiding spots, they will prevail, like in that tank. All right, guys, let me sit down for a moment. Look at all my wife's junk. We got a new bed. Got to put it together. Male always hides. Aquatic Haven says male always hides, and the female doesn't stay out very long. Is that normal? Yeah, cribs are shy unless they're in a colony. Often, they need a good area. They need to know that they can have a place to go and hide. And most of all, they need dither fish. They need fish that are just like not caring, minding their own business, doing whatever in the tank, and ignoring whatever's going on. And that will really help, because if those fish are relaxed and hanging out, then the cribs think, oh, okay, I can be relaxed and I can hang out. So in here we've got Tin Winnie, Pantheri. We've also got the lake inlay, so the Shanensis. And then we have a Divario. I can never pronounce it right. Phraseella. And then there's also the multi-bar border loach, dwarf multi-bar Burmese loach, sometimes what it's called. But I love them. I don't know how to get them to breed, though. I think they probably need running water to breed. This tank, I would like to change back into a hill stream. All these Danios can handle it fine. The Celestial Pearl Danios and the Erythromicron Danios, there's only a couple left in here. Most I got out. But yeah. Oh, and the other ones, we've got a few Hatchet Danios in here. And then we've also got, oh, look, the betas are possibly getting interested in each other, or just fighting. I don't know. It's a 40-gallon breeder. I just let them do their thing. A lot of times I'll find a nest, find the babies, and you know, some fish is going to eat it. Then I'll take the babies wherever I found the bubble nest and move it. I could turn the power head on and just leave like one quiet corner. It would probably be fine. I'm planning on starting a garden with pond and hill stream fishes. That is awesome on Tran. Timothy J, thickest guppy on YouTube. Totally. But yeah, so fish tropic, I'm glad that you're smiling. Oh, I forgot. I also got some pseudomagills in there. Some luminatus, the neon reds. Not the dwarf neons, but the neon red ones. And I've got some of the Xingu River down from the Amazon. Yellow lemon tetras with sometimes they're called mandarin tetras with the red eye or orange eye. Lemon tetras, I don't know, they go by a bunch of names. We'll take a look at this tank again for a sec. The planaria, it just hurts my soul. I don't know why. I've just been trained that it's always a bad thing. But this tank is totally just chilling off the hook. And see, there's a Tin Winnie Danio, gold ring Danio, if you will. She's nice and plump. You can see her egg belly kind of showing there. The male's down below. These guys are now 2 years old, and they've got some nice finish. There's one of those multi-barred. Too many fish in my head. I'm a fish head. Loaches. Multi-bar border loach with the gold little eye on the tail. Fake eye. It's always cool. So I'm also working on... Oh, there's a dead shrimp that they're ripping apart, too. That's part of why there's all the planaria and shrimp there. Cabamba fricata, the plant that I can't hype enough. I love it. Low tech, it does great. Look, it even gets red in low tech sometimes. These shrimp are so bold. They just swim around. Even their babies do. Even when they get eaten, they just keep trucking. Also, these are not chili rasboras. These are Phoenix rasboras, and they are way cooler than chili rasboras because they turn colors, and that pattern on them is like a bullseye. The black dot, it always stays the same, but then around it, and there's sometimes they're called galaxy rasboras. They're actually Erythromicron Danios, the guy with the stripes. But these Phoenix rasboras have this neon pink that is like day glow. It's not a color that's usually in fish, in freshwater fish. And it just, like right now he's subdued, or he is subdued. But they will glow when they're really excited or mating. And there's a circular pattern, like it comes in rings surrounding that black dot. Come on, focus. There we go. And then there's two other dots along their body, and it will all, and they'll put their fins out, and their fins will turn like a kind of clear red. It's really cool, and they shimmer like gasoline. All right, guys. Well, that's what's going on here. Let me double check the chats. I'm hot tonight, and apparently I think our house is just hot because of the snow. Oops. Let's take a step out onto the deck. Take a step and see what's going on in the world today. All right. Ready, guys? Come on. All right. So we have some snow. This hill, oh, this is all just ice. I cleared this for my wife, but it's just all solid ice. And I don't know what to do with my buckets of water. It's windy too. Right now it is really windy. We've been hearing the wind blow and it's snapping the bushes and not allowing the snow to stay on the bushes. But my parents up in Edmonds and Cindy apparently up in Edmonds, y'all have like, I don't know, 8 inches of snow or something. And here we clearly, this is new since yesterday. So I think like, I don't know, we've got like an inch that's actually stuck around because of all the wind. And they cleared the roads and everything, but in any case, that doesn't matter. So in any case, that's it. That's kind of the feeding regime. It looks like we're getting fogged up. All fogged up. Let's get fogged up. Let's try the other camera. Maybe that's what this is for. Nope. I am Darth Vader or the Sith Lord or something. Jeannie, how's it going? I don't know what Ryan Reynolds says, but if you give me a line, I will say it. I don't think that that's true, but yeah, I did cut all my hair though. If for those of you who haven't seen me in a moment, so that's a thing. But yeah, it was hot inside, and we fed the fish. We did it, guys. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, again, Chase Canton, go back if you want, but he's in the video, lives near me. He's north of me about 20 or 30 minutes, and he has macrostoma bettas, big old pretty bettas that mate and do all sorts of cool things. They're kind of like the most wild, untamed bettas. They are a little tricky to breed. Some people can't get them to breed. He has the key. I think he has a whole aquarium of green water, but then he's got all these other aquariums, like a 40-gallon breeder, I think, dedicated. I'm just talking out of my other mouth. No, don't. That sounded bad. Talking out of my other end. Let's go up there and visit Chase, and we'll make a video soon. The other thing we have going on is I will be doing a video on the history of angelfish soon. I've been reading up on it. It's really fascinating. It's really a story. I'm sure it's a story of indigenous people eating angelfish and looking at them and being like, oh, that's not big enough to eat or whatever. But it's also a story of colonialists as early as the Spanish saying, wow, that's a beautiful freshwater fish. And it's also a story of the Germans and the Portuguese and the Dutch and especially the Belgians saying, wow, look at this fish, and then classifying it, and Carl Linnaeus being alive and saying, wow, look at this fish. And then later on, when they decolonized, they discovered the Altum and the Leopoldi angelfish, which is named after the son, or maybe it's the grandson, you'll get it later, of the Belgian monarch, who was a monster. Sorry if you're from Belgium. I have Danish and French and German blood, so I probably have Belgian blood too. But yeah, he's responsible for cutting off like 3 million limbs in the Congo or something like that. It might be 2, it might be 5. I'm sorry if I'm off. It's bad. He's a bad dude. He starved people to death. This is in the 20th century too. And so when they packed up and left, a lot of anthropologists, ichthyologists and things from all the European countries tried to do a last hurrah and go name things and explore things. And I'm glad that they did, especially those that were there to truly explore nature in its glory and not just like put a flag on it and call it theirs. But But some of those places like Myanmar, we haven't been back to since. So there's a lot of opportunity, and they're believed to be probably 6 more angelfish species. They're usually determined by the number of scales they have, honestly, because there's some that you would swear are Leopoldi or an Altum, but it's a Scalera. And so I'm still learning that. I can't tell them by looking right off the bat, apparently, and most people can't. If you think you can, you don't know how to identify them properly because they've been so bred in captivity. So, yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things about angelfish, but I want to get back into the history of the fish, into the people who name them, and I don't want to forget about the indigenous people. I don't want to forget about the current issues facing these fish, the current things in the hobby, like the trends of koi angelfish is the big thing right now. I would say, you know, Dean, master breeder from that way from me, who lives about 20 minutes away from me, who's on Aquarium Co-op frequently. Him and Corey from Aquarium Co-op are very responsible for the koi angelfish popularity, and probably koi guppies. I mean, everybody, like last year, I feel like it was more pandas, or 2 years ago. Now it's koi everything. So who knows what's next, but that was the feeding. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the super chats, for sharing, for my new patrons. I know there's two of you that just checked in. Also for my patrons, I'm telling them that they can literally message me 24/7 because I'm here for you guys. And that's a courtesy I've extended to a lot of my viewers. Literally my cell phone, but I'm gonna say it like officially on Patreon. If you have fish problems, if you need help with something like that, or honestly, I mean, this is outside my purview. I can't say I can give you medical or legal advice or anything, but if you're just having a really tough day and just need someone to talk to, I've been there. Like, I'm not gonna talk every day to everyone, but I really do care about you guys as a community. So that's all I've got to say. That's kind of my little routine when I'm feeding the bloodworm regimen. The bloodworm, vinegar eel, brine shrimp, yeah, so take care of your critters, take care of your plants, fish, take care of the people around you, and of course take care of yourself so you can do those first few things. And if half of us do that, half of us do half of those things, we will have at least a 2 times better world. So I'll leave you on that note. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. If you want to check out any t-shirts or anything, Teespring link below. There's also gadgets and things that I use in the fish room link below, affiliated. And then my Patreon if you want to support more of this. I can feed them. Oh, we should feed them beluga caviar. I'd love to feed my Endlers beluga caviar. So if we want to sponsor a video of me just feeding like escargot and expensive crap to my fish, support me. Otherwise, I'm not doing it. But I would love to do that, to watch the world burn as... All right, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Stay warm.